Before we get into the video, this is just a quick reminder to all our newcomers to the channel to hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my latest videos. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is OG Tyne and welcome back to the channel. So recently I was asked to join a fellow up-and-coming YouTuber, Calamity Hatcher, on his podcast to discuss Marvel news, the most recent E3 and general nerdy topics. If you enjoy the video, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Be sure to check out Calamity Hatchers' channel. I'll be leaving a link down in the description below, and yeah, enjoy. Peace.
What is up, guys? It's Calamity Hatcher coming at you with a brand new podcast, episode 15. I am your host, Calamity Hatcher, and today I am joined by the wonderful
OG Titan.
and wonderful guest on the show, the lovely
Emma.
And we're here to bring you all the latest fiery conversations and hot topical nerdiness that have been going on today. We haven't really, bear in mind this is recorded a week in advance. So, a week ago today, there was a lot of things going on in one day in terms of gaming.
It was pretty exciting.
But as always, before we get into this extra special gaming-based podcast, it's time for the news that will change your life. Infinity War has hit $1.9 billion. Solo has underperformed at the box office, and Disney is blaming Infinity War. X-Men Dark Phoenix has had test screenings for the original cut, and apparently it is goddamn awful. The MCU are getting more team-up movies, and the Power Rangers are rumoured to be getting a reboot. So, firstly, what do you guys think? Infinity War, 1.9 billion. Did we expect anything like that?
I was literally just about to say, what did you expect
realistically?
realistically?
I expected 2.1. I expected Awakens at this point. I mean, it's still good. I don't
How much
think
did Force Awakens make?
It's like 2.84.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. I have no idea.
Stupid amounts of money. I think Avatar or Titanic is it Titanic? Top grossing one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's 2.8.
Yeah, it's definitely out there.
This is the thing with the comparison with Infinity War and Force Awakens. That was a continuation from years in advance from the old school Star Wars fans, whereas Iron Man came out in like what, 2008?
Yeah.
Star Wars has had a running fan base for so long, and it's one of those franchises, I suppose like Marvel in the same sense, transposes a lot of different age groups. Star Wars, kids go see it, parents go and see it, who went and saw the original ones.
It helps the fact that they're both run by Disney now, so...
Yeah, and with Star Wars especially, considering however many years ago it first came out, those people that have grown up with it, and now all the new movies that are coming out, they're going to go see it. They've got kids, they're going to have got them into the series of Star Wars and gone to go see it as well.
Exactly. When a Star Wars movie comes out, it's been an event so far, I would say. Well, definitely, The Force Awakens was definitely an event when it came out. I remember going to see it with my dad, and it's a tradition we've always had now. When the Star Wars films come out, we go and see them, normally the day of release. It's transposed so many kind of age groups, as you said, and it's funny that we mention that, because next thing on our list is Solo underperforming. Now, I went and saw Solo last night, funny enough, without my father, because he is away, but hopefully by the time this is released, I'm going to see it with him, so that'd be cool. But yeah, it's not doing too well. And Disney are just saying, well, Infinity War, Deadpool 2, it's a crammed month.
I still have the exact same comment. What did you expect realistically?
There were so many big name films coming out so close together. It's hard, it's with Infinity War coming out first, especially.
I think it's more of the fact that unless you've seen it, the way you're going to look at it is it didn't need to happen.
Definitely, and that was my thought the entire time watching yesterday. I was like, do you know what, actually, this is better than I thought it was going to be, because following all the stuff with this movie was supposed to be garbage. This was supposed to be god awful, and I actually enjoyed myself, mainly because of how it builds the Star Wars universe, and a cameo that I will go into in my review, but I'm not going to spoil that right here because Jesus Christ, it's incredible. I would recommend seeing it. It's not an incredible movie.
What would you rate it, though?
I'd give it a 3 out of 5 thermal detonators.
3 out of.
I think that's where I'd rank it.
In comparison to what was the other one, Rogue One, what would, like, on what kind of scale would you compare them?
I suppose they both didn't need to happen, did they? I don't know really. I would say they're about equal. I suppose because I was nicely surprised by the little bits I got in this movie. Whereas Rogue One, I think the most badass point of the whole movie, and it's really the only standout bit for me, is the Darth Vader corridor scene type deal.
See, I haven't even seen either of them.
Have you
I
not
don't
seen
really have high hopes for either of them going in.
There is a scene at the end where he rips through it. It literally goes into A New Hope. That opening shot from A New Hope in the hallway, and he just when the ships connect and the doors first open, he just goes through people. Like, you've never actually seen Darth Vader do that in a Star Wars movie until that point. It's like full on.
Now that they've got the budget as well.
Yeah.
Literally. So that really works well. Yeah, I'd put it on about equal paying, but I will hopefully be doing a review at some point. Maybe we'll see. It's the YouTube game, I guess. Like, oh, well, everyone's got their review up. Just talk about what happened and speculate, I guess. But on to the next one, which again, you're going to say the same thing to me. X-Men Dark Phoenix is said to be on this.
I'm actually not going to say the same thing because the classic storyline of the Phoenix was so good and was just such a good, like, piece of thread in the blanket that is the Marvel universe. But the fact that it still takes place within the same universe as Apocalypse. Apocalypse did not do well whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess. What did you actually expect? But if they rewrite it, it could be done well. It could be done so well.
Do you remember the butchering of X-Men: The Last Stand when they did it in that?
Was it Last Stand?
With Jean. Yeah, when she went.
Oh yeah, X-Men 3.
X-Men 3.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember.
Apparently there are like 3 different scenes in it in the new one that are directly ripped from that, just with Sophie Turner there as the Phoenix instead, basically.
Wait, it's Fox, right?
Yeah.
What, in the first 3 there was Fox as well?
Yeah.
So that's just really lazy writing. They're just
Yeah.
like, it's like, oh, okay, we've already got this clip, so why don't we just use the exact same basis of it, but just put a new face on it?
Apparently
Exactly.
Charles gets ripped apart by Jean.
Again.
Thing is,
It's
they know
not even what it
that.
was in the original story, yeah.
Thing is, they know that the series of X-Men films haven't done so well. So you think that they would look at it and go, okay, we need to get this one up.
I don't know, I
Like-
reckon they've just given up. I reckon they've just
Yeah, it
like, you
seems
know
like
what,
they're not
we've
putting
messed it
much
up,
effort
let's
in.
just continue
think-
like this.
I think people have come in and said, okay, you know all those kind of loose ends that you want to keep going for other films? Close them off, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Disney are having this, they don't want any of you or anything that we've done. They're rebooting the X-Men, they're rebooting the Fantastic Four.
They're just like, let's do this our way.
Exactly, with both of those films, they're just going to end up completely ruining them, and it's going to have to be a pretty good reboot to save them.
See, I think Marvel, I think they can do it. I just think by the time this deal goes through, you're not going to have had an X-Men movie for about 4 years. You're not going to have had a Deadpool movie for about 3 years. So
Won't be until
for
the next
everything with
stage.
the deal to hash out and then for them to be introduced into the universe, it's at least that. I would say probably more than that. Maybe about 5-6 years for them to come into play. So Marvel could do it, but I think they really have to get around that issue of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Because Hugh Jackman will always be Wolverine to so many people, the same
Yeah.
with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So I don't know how they're going to quite do that. But
It's Hugh Jackman, they'll find a way. They always do, they'll find a way. Like,
Yeah.
just look how Logan turned out. Realistically, a lot of people looked down on Logan before it was even done because they knew that it wasn't going to be done in comparison to the comics. But they still made it such like that. They put a stamp on the
It was
entire
such an
X-Men
amazing
universe.
movie.
It really, I was one of those people as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wanted to see the adamantium melted skeleton
Yeah.
on the side of the
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Talking of maybe next time, Power Rangers are rumoured to be getting a reboot due to Hasbro purchasing the Power Rangers off Saban for 5.8
I didn't know it
billion.
was. Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was Hasbro.
And Hasbro are now taking back all their properties to lease out to new studios. So Transformers will be getting a reboot. G.I. Joe is getting a kind of maybe reboot / soft reboot. And Power Rangers is coming into play.
See, my main question for this is the fact that it's Hasbro. Is it going to be more
is.
child? I was to say more child friendly.
Yeah.
See, I would love to see a more authentic Transformers comics look, like the cartoons, something that way, and you can do that in a more family-friendly way.
Rather than the realistic blips and stuff like
That's
that.
the thing, yeah, because there are some of the, like, okay, it kind of worked in the first one, but then it just starts getting ridiculous, some of these
It's just
facial
Michael
features.
Bay showing you where his budget's going realistically.
Yeah,
It's that the
Completely over the
explosions.
top.
If I had any more bloody bonds here, like, it wouldn't be legal, so yeah. Let's put some funky faces on these guys. It's ridiculous. But you know, that's...
In all honesty, this whole reboot idea, it does give me high hopes because like the story of the original Power Rangers, like being a Power Rangers fan as a child and like growing up with it as a kid, knowing like the story of like the White Ranger and how it was written into the series, they could do, even if they do like an adult twist on that, they could make it so good. If they make it dark, they could actually make it really, really good because it was actually announced recently that they are doing, I think it was a comic, a new Power Rangers comic
Yeah,
that's set in a much darker universe, but
So
it's
that-
still like I can't remember his name.
Tommy Oliver.
Yeah, the one who was the original Green Ranger and White Ranger.
But this is the thing with the Power Rangers. People didn't go and see that movie, so it was gonna get rebooted. But I'm kind of sitting here like, I kind of love that movie.
It
Like,
wasn't a bad movie. I can see why it needs to get rebooted though. But I know that they wanted to go into the sequel again with introducing the Green Ranger and having a much deeper storyline. But I just feel that the way they executed it wasn't the best way. It was just, I don't know, they could have just done it a lot better.
See, it had a very Breakfast Club feel to me, which
Yeah.
really appealed to me in a way. But I guess you have to kind of
Know the Breakfast Club.
yeah.
Because if you didn't know anything about the Breakfast Club and went into that, you'd just be like, you're pretty much watching. It's like watching Transformers, but like within the same universe, but just another part of the world.
Yeah, kind of actually. And alright, it took too long for them to morph, but the whole, like you knew what I was waiting for in that movie. I didn't see that movie when it came out. I saw it later when it was on home release. And like, the entire time, all the trailers were coming out, I was like, I just really want the theme tune to
Yeah.
play at one point when they're like in the film, and. Alright, it was short, but it
It still gets you
I was
excited.
literally
though.
like dancing on my seat, like yes, here we go. And it was it was great.
So as someone who's had like no interest in Power Rangers, from what I have seen, I've always just felt like it's been way too over the top, too over dramatic, too overacting. But your idea of having it in like a dark universe does seem much more interesting.
But this is the thing with that though. Power Rangers was pretty much created by a Japanese company. Think
Yes,
of anime and how
exactly,
over the top
yeah,
it is
so
though.
it's- the
But
kind
when
of
it was
some of it is
appealing to
meant-
the Japanese audience, it was doing really well.
Yeah, I think it's
Wasn't
meant
it
to be
the
over the
first-
top, but I've always felt like it's just too much to handle.
Fair enough.
Like I've never been able to like watch it and be like, yeah, this is good. I've always kind of been like, are they like, what is this kind of thing? Like,
Weirdly
and I know
enough-
a lot of people are probably gonna hate me
Weirdly
for
enough,
saying
I was
this.
actually watching, I can't remember what it was, I think it was a Watch Mojo video, and they were talking about the things you didn't know about Power Rangers basically, and probably about 10 years ago when it started to go into like a newer generation, they actually had a brand new team of writers, and they got rid of like all of the giant explosions and all of like the screaming and stuff. But I think it was because they were making it more child friendly.
I think the first season was actually, it was the Japanese actors were just English dubbed.
Yeah.
But did you ever see the James Van Der Beek dark short he made, like Power Rangers short? That was.
I have actually, and if it's done like that, then it could be really good. But this is actually my main question: is it like, it hasn't actually been confirmed, but is it going to be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers though?
No idea.
Because there's so many that they could go with. Do you know what I mean?
Literally, like they've acquired the rights to Power Rangers, so what comes with that's entirely up to them now.
For all we know, they could end up just making it a kids movie and making it with whatever the current generation of Power Rangers is, and then just release it in cinemas. Because that's what they did when the original Power Rangers movie first came out in the 90s. They actually released it in the cinema.
Yeah, but can't you just see it now? Like, so you've got the Transformers, and then suddenly the G.I. Joe squad needs to turn up to help defend the world from Unicron, and then the Power Rangers turn up because Rita Repulsa's with them and stuff like that. Like, it
sounds like
cinematic
an after school special back on like the Fox Kids days.
Hasbro, kids. Yeah, so that is the news that will change your life. Yeah, let's move on to the main thing today. So there were 3 game trailers dropped today in the space of 24 hours as we're recording this 1 week ago when you're watching this. And the first of which is kind of an exciting one. It's a release for the Nintendo Switch, and I may actually get a Nintendo Switch now. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. Is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So we're just gonna, we'll put the trailer up and we're just gonna discuss things and see how it's going on. You have not actually seen the trailer.
No, I haven't.
That
This one, yeah.
close to my heart. The Pokemon game.
I love the fact that they put it on the screen that it's simulated effects.
Kind of
In
reminds me
case you
of
don't know.
Pokemon Channel in
I
a
thought
way
it
of
was
having the
gonna be that.
Pikachu roam around your house there.
I mean, just
Okay, that is
such a step
adorable.
up, like graphically. They're still keeping the aesthetic.
It's kind of like the Pokemon game that you've literally been waiting for to be on consoles. Well, that's what it looks like to me.
This I don't like. I'm sorry. I love Pokemon Go, but I don't want my Pokemon game to be Pokemon
It's
Go.
just Nintendo still trying to keep you active.
Yeah.
Stop it. Now this is a cool feature. This I like.
That is really good.
Multiplayer together and catching dynamics.
So, but with that, who would get the Pokemon?
I guess both of you. This. Now I want to know if this integrates with the Pokemon Go Plus.
Oh my
at all,
gosh.
or with Pokemon Go in general.
I can imagine it would, or with them releasing some sort of a new device to sync up with it and then sync up to your Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I like how it's also a little joystick controller. This is where they've got me. Bang. You can send gifts to people on Pokemon Go.
I personally see the customization as unnecessary.
Yeah, but it was always
I
gonna
know
be
what you
there.
mean.
I feel like that's to appeal more to kids because, in my personal opinion, Oh. Gotta love the energy.
I know.
But yeah.
Yeah. So what are you guys general thoughts on it?
I quite like the idea of it. I feel like, obviously with Pokemon Go, when it first came out, there were a lot of stories of kids like roaming the streets and just, well, not roaming the streets, but like almost getting hit by cars, hurting themselves, going to places they shouldn't. I feel like this is like an alternative for like kids whose parents might completely stop them from going out and playing Pokemon Go, and it's also kind of just spread it more out to more people who maybe don't want to be playing it on their phones and would rather play it on a console.
Yeah, I mean, well, it seems to me that it's a red and blue, essentially, from the looks of it. Like, in terms of region and all that kind of thing, and Pokemon available. I don't think the Pokemon Go integration is going to be a massive thing. I think it's going to be a short side thing of it. Don't like how they've taken throwing from Pokemon Go and made that a feature in catching Pokemon. That's never it, man. I threw a ball, mashed A and B repeatedly until it closed or opened, and repeated the process.
The main issue is this going to make Pokemon Go obsolete?
Yeah, that is also another thing.
Unless
this isn't going to be about going out and catching Pokemon.
I know, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Because they didn't have like, well, personally, in my opinion, they didn't have like an amazing Pokemon game like they did back in the day, like Emerald when they first were out, like Crystal, Silver, and Gold. They didn't. That's why they released Pokemon Go. It was to get those fans back into it.
Yeah.
But with this, they've now, if they make this game good enough, then people are going to stop playing Pokemon Go unless they're going to be like, okay, you know what, I want to catch my Pokemon on Pokemon Go back home and then put my Pokemon on the game. Then you will have those few. But think of how much the fan base for Pokemon Go has gone from and compared to what it is now.
Well, nevertheless, I'm not allowed to throw this title around, as you guys know, but you guys know this to be legit. So I am a moderator now. Granted, I have not been active in the Discord for some time. The guys that are running it are lovely guys. They do an incredible job of organising these people, and I don't even know how many members it's at. It was at like 200 members last time I checked. It's all people in the Harrow area that all play Pokemon Go, and it's still strong. Like they still raid. They're organising raids consistently. They're all getting the legendaries. They're all getting the Mewtwo.
I don't doubt that whatsoever,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, obviously it's still strong, but it's not as strong as it was.
Yeah, it's
Think
not
of
as
how
strong as
crazy,
it
like, you
was.
literally couldn't, I remember, like, when the summer that Pokemon Go came out, you couldn't go out of your house and go to a park without seeing other people playing Pokemon Go and running into other people playing Pokemon
Exactly,
Go.
you couldn't see anything
very cool.
like that didn't relate to
Exactly.
Pokemon Go. Like it was
It's true.
everywhere.
Well, I was up in Central the other week when Ho-Oh came out, and funnily enough, I stopped playing around the time Ho-Oh came out, and I need to come back, and I was like, okay, no, I need to do the Pokedex. And I was in Central, and I went to this raid. I had 3 other people with me that were all in it, and you just went to the lobby, and it was like 12 people, and I was like, there is nobody here playing Pokemon Go. There is nobody here playing it.
That's in Central as well.
Exactly. And it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. Good. But I think the idea that there's going to be a Pokemon that's exclusive to Pokemon Go through integration with this is enough for me to buy the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, the game itself is enough for me to buy the Switch, but that is just a little cherry that's like, oh no, my Pokedex will not be full. I want to be the very best I know what I want.
The thing is, now you know that they're just going to expand it as well onto the next generation and then the next
Yeah.
generation, so you'll always be able to keep it up to date.
Yeah, definitely.
But-
But they need to start coming up with generations a bit quicker, in my opinion. Because, like, we're already on Gen 3. Gen 4 will probably be end of the year.
Which one's Gem? Oh, that's Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, right?
Yeah.
What generation are they on now?
3.
No, I mean in the current games.
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald.
No, in the actual.
Oh. Jesus, I don't know. I've really
Was it
lost.
like 6?
Maybe isn't Alolan region the latest one?
Is that not 6?
Potentially. I lose
We will
track.
have to
I
look
lost
into
track
this. There's a
of
lot.
what keys.
We will have to look into
And so I
this.
feel like the Pokemon in the newest generation, sometimes you just look at them and you go, like, what are they doing?
Oh, I
like-
think it's 7.
Yeah.
Because if Gen 4 was Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, then they released Black and White, which was Gen 5, then they released X and Y, which was Gen 6, and then Sun and Moon, which was Gen 7.
Okay. Yeah, so they're running out of gens.
Maybe eventually they're just going to release 2 gens into Pokemon Go at once.
I think it does seem like they're running out of ideas for Pokemon, and they're just changing old ones slightly.
What do you expect though? How long has it been
like-
running
Yeah,
for
exactly.
To me, it looks like a remaster with just added mechanics.
Yeah, literally,
Like
that's
of
what I was
Red and
thinking.
Blue. Like I'm getting it for the fact that it is a 3D realised version of Red and Blue from the looks of it.
Do you know what it looks like? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if that's the right way
Yeah,
around.
and
So
that's-
just on a console, yeah, exactly. But just like on an actual console.
I'm excited for it. Like there's been a few titles that maybe kind of toyed with the idea of getting Switch, but I think this is the one. This is the one.
I'll still have to see, because we still don't know how this game's going to turn out.
Yeah,
Because has it actually been confirmed that it's going to be within the first region, or because we've only
shown stuff in the first
that's what I'm
region,
saying.
yeah.
That's all we've
Imagine
seen
if they
though.
have.
Exactly, that's exactly my point. But also imagine
Just
if
do
it's
1 and 2. Just
imagine
do
if
one
it's
and
the first region, but like limited, like anything can happen at this point. Like we probably won't get like anything major until like E3 or whatever.
2. Yeah, I imagine E3 will be the next update on it.
Exciting times though.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive
Yeah,
for
you
the
do
gaming
you
community.
do hope that it does well, but it's hard. It is kind of hard to see like where else Pokemon can go. I feel like because obviously they have brought out the older games and put in the newer generations, but I feel like don't know how this would go, but if they were to just bring out the old, like redo the old games, but with the gens that were in that game, so not the newest generations, basically redoing the old games into like newer consoles, newer handheld consoles.
See, this is the thing for me.
That's what I'm hoping this is.
For me, I actually like the fact that they put the newer generation in with the old regions, because I think that makes it such a good twist. But I'm not saying that they have to put in the newest
I like
generation.
what they do in the sense that then you can trade up your Pokemon from the older gens. Like if you had a link cable, you
Yeah.
can transfer all your Pokemon up from your old gens. So like suddenly on Gold and Silver and Crystal, you'll run around with Mewtwo, and it's just like, yeah, cool. If you're like me and you had Blue, you did that little glitch and got Mew as well. You could transfer him across. And
See, the way I would do this is because Pokemon didn't really change like dramatically until it hit the 4th gen. So I would have Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire, all within one region. All of those Pokemon within one region. And then, because obviously they're not done with Pokemon, let's face it, they're going to do another one. Then they could put like the next 4 into the next category, and then and so on and so
That's
forth.
what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this is the first of what's to come. From
Yeah,
Pokemon.
literally.
Like this is Red and Blue. All right, maybe if it does insanely well, 2 years after that they do like what would be the yellow version, even though you kind of got Pikachu or something like that. But then later work on it for a few more years, up it. Release a Gold and Silver equivalent. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see that almost a remaster of each one, but with these new mechanics, with these exciting features, so it's not just like copy and paste.
I feel it would make more sense to start with Gold, Crystal, and Silver, because one, you've got that's Johto, right?
Yeah.
You can go from Johto to Kanto on Gold, Crystal, and Silver, right? That was the first time that they done that. That would be so easy to put into the game. And then once they expand the game, or because if you remember in the actual, in like the old games, even in Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire, you have like certain parts of the map that has like a waterfall and it's blocked by rocks. They can easily extend that and then make it one massive region.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I mean?
really could. One thing I've just actually had this thought, now that they're putting Pokemon games like back onto console, because I mean I can't remember the last time I saw a Pokemon game, whether it was like a side one like Pokemon Channel or something like that, Pokemon Snap. But I think it was on like GameCube.
Even Detective. Well, there was Detective Pikachu. When did that come out?
Pikachu, I'm not too sure.
There's a couple of ones that have like slipped under the radar.
Yeah, there's no big.
But that's
big
because they're
ones.
like all appealing to. Well, personally, I don't really watch TV, so I don't see the trailers for them. But but
Yeah, that's
I
true.
get
You
like
don't
my
really see much
nephews and
ad-
stuff telling me about all of these
Yeah.
like Pokemon
And
games
even
that are
just
coming up I've never heard
and even
of.
just on social networks and like YouTube and stuff like that, there's not much advertising.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I feel like this would be a good opportunity to do is bring out more games like that. And I feel like a really good one to start off with would be Pokemon Stadium. That was on N64
I reckon
with
Pokemon
the
Stadium
newer
would get a
gems.
remaster.
The thing is, I
Because
think
that was such an
Pokemon
amazing,
Tournament-
amazing game. Exactly, because you
It
had all the
was, yeah.
tournaments, and then you had the multiplayer function of it, which I absolutely loved playing as a kid. It was absolutely one of my favourite games. And maybe even another chance to bring back Pokemon Snap, because again, that was such a fun game to play.
It was brought back.
Oh,
It was put onto the Wii.
no, yeah.
Pokken Tournament is kind of considered, I think, the spiritual successor. to
Unfortunately,
Pokemon
though,
Snap.
I mean,
Yeah. What was Pokemon Colosseum on the
GameCube.
That was
GameCube.
awesome as well. I think it was also, considered the spiritual successor to that.
They need to do the Lugia Gale Winds. Do you know the game?
Oh my god,
Something
with
like
the Dark
that?
Lugia.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a
they need to redo that though. That would be really good.
It wasn't bad.
Obviously, there was no Colosseum, but
No,
Colosseum was like Pokemon meets Final Fantasy.
literally. They need to do that. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, right now it just feels like Pokemon are really solely focusing on the whole Pokemon Go thing. Like with the new game brought out, it's still kind of relying on Pokemon Go, and I feel like doing that, if they continue to rely on it, it could not ruin them, but it might not be the
Yeah,
best move. They
I
should
get
try
that.
and branch out. Now that, like I said, they're back on console, they should think about rehashing some old games or bringing in new ideas.
I don't even think it's necessarily that they're relying on Pokemon Go. I think that Pokemon Go is relying on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you've got this game, you're spending all your hours on it, right? And then you're like, well, I'm going to go outside. You're addicted to Pokemon at that point, it's all you're playing. And you're like, I'm going to go to the shops. Eventually, if you know there's some sort of integration, you'll be like, well, it's a free app. Like, all I've got to do is have it open while I walk around. Just do what I do. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm used to the throw mechanic by now from doing it in the game. Like, it would just, I think it's more the idea that Pokemon are now, well, the Pokemon company are probably looking at Niantic and Pokemon Go and thinking, right, how can we
Keep
kind
this
of-
alive,
yeah,
keep this
keep
candle
Yeah.
burning.
because we are running out of ideas with it, and it's like, okay, well, if we could get more of like the core player base in, if they got special features out of doing it and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, so remember in the old games, how in Red and Blue, how you got Dratini at the game corner,
Yeah.
like that was a pain in the arse at times.
But in all
That's fine, I
honesty,
could just walk up the River Thames for a couple of hours, catch a load of Dratinis, send them over to my Pokemon game when I get home, and then just be like, okay, right, let's play this.
I don't mean to sound like an old man, but that's the kind of stuff that I miss. But I don't mean to be like, oh, well, back in my day, that's not how we got a Dratini. But that's the kind of stuff, it's those small little Easter eggs that I feel with that made the Pokemon games what they were though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do understand that. No, I'm really interested to see how IVs in Pokemon Go are going to correlate to EVs and IVs in Pokemon. Like in Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
Because like they don't correlate as it currently stands. They might have to restructure the whole Pokemon Go battle system, and that I'm kind of welcome towards.
It really all depends on how they're gonna see like competitive people are actually gonna be. Because again, like even like back in the day, like on like the Game Boy Color when it first came out, people didn't care about like that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then once as Pokemon got more and more advanced, when it started hitting like Gen 4, Gen 5, people were really getting more into it. And with Pokemon Go, obviously, people are going crazy over the different stats and whatnot. But if they actually end up aiming it towards a younger audience, they may not even put that into the game so much. They may not even make it as intricate as it is in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, alright. We've talked about ones. Let's talk about my boy. That's my boy. Now, Sega today released a reveal trailer for Team Sonic Racing. It's been known amongst the Sonic community for some time a Sonic Racing game was coming due to a logo that was released where all of it was darked out except one corner with a red kind of flick on it and then just an R that was dimly lit in the middle that looked like the one from Sonic Racing before. It's going to be a new kart game, so we're going to watch this trailer. This is a very, very short cinematic trailer, but bam, me is getting goosebumps. Getting goosebumps to listen. I love how they don't even put the save on it anymore. Like, you know,
The cinematic graphics are actually really good.
yeah. Love the music. Come on, let's get another fist bump out of this game. I mean, sold. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. They don't need nothing else to get me. He's in it. But yeah.
Something that actually caught my attention, which I didn't realise before, that it's actually going to be on pretty much all platforms, which I think is actually quite interesting. Because, well, with games like Fortnite being as popular as they are right now, could it actually be cross-platform? If it doesn't take a tremendous amount to run smoothly, it fully could be cross-platform if it's gone online.
I don't have faith in Sega to have good service.
It doesn't need to have, like, I don't mean that it's going to be a great way to do it. I don't even mean that it's going to run smoothly whatsoever, but it does leave a possibility though.
I'd like to see it. It'd be cool. I mean, you know, I'm going to play the hell out of this game. I'm weird with games. Like, well, no, I guess you're the same, but we're different in the games we choose.
Yeah.
In the sense that we don't browse a lot of games. We pick the game that we want
We're
to play
fussy,
at that time.
basically.
Yeah.
We're pretty much fussy.
But then we own our fucking film.
Yeah, that's true.
Me on the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite hype. I say this, if Axie is listening, I'm sorry. I know you absolutely wipe the floor with me, but man's getting good, you know. My Zero's sick.
You're gonna have to start uploading some gameplay of it.
Oh,
You're gonna need some proof.
It's coming soon. Like everything is coming soon in life is not in the way. What stuff will come? No, what stuff is coming soon, guys?
But yeah. Sonic trailer.
I mean, did you guys play Sonic All-Stars Racing, Transform, Sega All-Stars Racing,
Don't actually think so.
Sega All-Stars Racing, did that have the Monkey Ball characters in it as well? What was that on?
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
I may have played it briefly, but like I've got like flashing images in my head, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I really don't think I have. I don't think I have.
Whatsoever.
Genuinely, like, and this isn't just me in my little blue corner. This is like generally by critics, it's well received. They're both well received races. Like,
I remember All-Star Racing doing pretty well.
I had a lot of fun with it. And now this kind of looks like it's been in a similar vein. There are a few screenshots that were released as well, no actual gameplay. But it looks beautiful.
It's just enough to build the hype in it.
Yeah.
And
But whether it's going to have been done well.
Sonic fans will buy it. Like, at this point, I don't know who Sega are trying to appeal to. Because they're not, new markets, well, kinda. Like, you see kids playing these games. A lot of kids bought Forces, but the main people you're selling to are your fan base, and they're going to eat it up.
Let me ask you, as a Sonic fan, who is the audience of Sonic Boom?
Well, you're going to have to be more specific in that question.
The TV series.
Oh, right.
Or actually no, as a whole.
No, because they're two separate things. They really are two separate things.
But I mean, like, say if you were to lump them both together, who would you say in general would be is a fan? Also, because I know there are certain parts of the series that you like. There's certain parts of the comics you like. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so what type of Sonic fan? Or what type of person in general?
Age rating mainly.
Oh, I would say the ages are about 6 to 12 years old. Probably. I mean, it's trash in that sense. But you combine the two together, it's trash. You put Sonic Boom the game near anything, and it's trash. Like.
Then I think that is going to be the primary audience of the racing game until we get more. Obviously, we're going to get more, but even even I feel that the Sonic fans that are a fan of the running about and the jumping about in Sonic won't go for it because of the fact that it's a racing game. Do you know what I mean?
Essentially, I mean, a lot of talk in the community today was that people were really hoping for a new Riders title.
Yeah.
And they didn't get that. People were really gunning for.
Well, this is a way to kick them while they're down then, isn't it?
Yeah. There's been mixed reactions so far. There's been a lot of positivity and a bit of negativity as well. The confirmed playable characters so far are Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, Tails,
the core group.
Eggborn. No confirmation of Eggman and Amy yet, but
You know that they're going to be in it though.
there's going to be about 20 characters, I believe. You can bet it will be people like Silver, Blaze,
Not
Big
including
Cat.
DLC.
Yeah, DLC, I think there will be Infinite at some point. Yeah.
They are kind of limited for characters though, like obviously with Mario Kart it's completely different because they can
Yeah,
use
because Mario
all
Kart
sorts of
eventually
new
they just done a massive crossover with
exactly with all the Nintendo
characters.
games. So I feel like they were trying to expand on Sonic Races. Like, would it just be different costumes for them and not really much else? Or
This is the thing, I had the exact same thought, but then I thought to myself, even in Mario Kart, they only have a certain amount of main characters. Like they only have, like then they started putting in a bunch of side characters that people didn't really care about, like the Shy Guy, the enemies, and like if you do the same
that's
with
true.
Sonic, you could easily do that with just like the different bots that are made by Eggman. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's true. They could put that in.
Metal Sonic, Chaos.
Exactly, they could actually extend it quite far.
Exactly.
They just need to get a bunch of crappy characters that no one cares
And one
about.
thing
basically.
I was
I just want to sync up their comics and their games. Just pull some stuff out of the comics and it'd be great. Some great people in there. You could have like world-ending people in there. In a little car, go for a
They'd
race.
have to change like their entire element then.
yeah.
But maybe that's like the kick in the arse that they need.
You know what Infinite needs to ride? A motorcycle made out of his cubes.
That would actually be pretty
They're
good.
constantly shifting.
I was
And
picturing
his
like a
theme tune needs
massive.
to come on whenever he's near you, like.
I was picturing like a massive like silver and white bike with like his helmet right on the front of it with like a crack on the front, and that's gonna be like the one headlight that's sticking out.
I feel like even I picture them almost like a not Tron style bike, but like proper like laying
Yeah, that's
down,
literally what I was
almost
picturing as
laid
well.
out flat to try
Kind
and
of
ride it.
Is her name Rosina?
Rosalina?
Rosalina, yeah, in Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Getting a bit off topic.
That's the thing, like, they've got my money, you know you do Sega, let's not mess around here, but just give me some qualityness, you know, like, I enjoyed Sonic Forces, I will still say this, so a lot of people that were in the Sonic community that bash me for saying this, I enjoyed it, like, it's not a great game, but I know that it's just kind of hastily put together, and I don't know how hastily this has been put together. It does kind of seem to come out of nowhere, but with a racing game, I suppose that's not that much of an issue.
For all we know, this could be what they've been working on, like on the side since
Yeah,
working
because
on.
there have been rumours.
Yeah.
wasn't
Was
there?
before Forces? Was it Mania that was before Forces?
Yeah, but that actually wasn't Sonic Team. That was
Oh right, yeah.
pushing my head.
Which is why it worked so well.
Yeah. So we'll go on to our next trailer, which is for Fallout 76, which was released at the end of the day. Well, that's it. I'm paying money.
That's literally every a fan of Bethesda's games.
Exactly. You just
though.
need to see. You just need to see that, please.
Greatest game ever made. It's actually quite a beautiful song in this trailer.
That's such a Fallout feel, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's
All
any
the
better.
vault logos all over the place of it. How has this man, this little man, survived the ages? How many nuclear fallouts has he survived through his imagery?
What, as in Pit-Boy himself?
Yeah.
What a use of this song.
Yeah. Like, even though it's still upbeat, it still feels kind of fills you with that loneliness that is Fallout.
Right, that's such a good way to put it. Already it's just like, I'm relating to this guy.
Exactly.
See, now, like, this is my only issue with this. Are we not just repeating the same kind of as before? I know it's a different time period, you get that, but
See,
guy puts on his Pip-Boy and off he goes out of his vault.
See, this is the
Probably
thing.
some corruption in the vault.
Fallout 4, right? This is the interesting thing about this. Fallout 4, before the main character gets frozen, that takes place in, what was this? 76. So he gets frozen in 77. So that takes place 1 year before he gets frozen. So it's just like, that's going to be, obviously they're going to have a similar trailer because that's set literally the year before Fallout 4 is set, until they go into the actual atomic wasteland later on in the game, basically.
With Fallout 4, doesn't it start with, I'm not too well known on the whole Fallout story, but I know Fallout 4's, obviously they got the shelter, a shelter ready, haven't they? They've got the Fallout shelter ready. So,
The vaults.
yeah, so
Yeah, the
if
vaults
it's set a
always
year,
exist.
so if it's set a year before and they're in the vaults,
But this is the thing. We don't know if this is going to be set on how do I put this? We don't know if this is going to be set within the same area or even like the same island or the same country.
That's true.
So it could be a completely different vault for all we know, because it's from playing like Fallout 4 recently. It's not the vault that you start off in. It's not the vault that you go down into at the beginning of the game. It looks like it's done on a much bigger scale, in all honesty.
Well, what we know. I mean, again, it's only a cinematic trailer. It doesn't really show us a lot in terms of what it's going to actually contain.
But E3 though.
But yeah, I mean, E3 is coming around the corner. I guess my problem with Fallout 4 was within like an hour and 20 minutes, I had 3 sets of power.
Yeah,
Mainly
but
because I looked up where like ones were within that first hour.
could you
Where
still
the
take out like the
release
strongest bosses in that armor at a low level though? Because even to
like that,
use
though, I don't go after the big guys.
no, oh, okay, fair enough. Because I was gonna say,
I'm a
if you
father.
go to get like a strong enough power arm and then go against the big enough bosses, you have to force yourself to level up. Otherwise, you can't wield the stronger power armors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm like, it's saving like my Kingdom Hearts, my Final Fantasy, I'm like, no farm on it. XP, let's go leveled up. Let's go do this shit.
With Fallout, it's a different kind of playthrough though.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
unless you're comparing it to Skyrim, obviously, because obviously both Bethesda.
yeah.
But where you can just.
Bethesda making this. Oh, I'm gonna mind that.
But yeah, obviously you can just go off and just level up all of your individual traits and stuff. Well, assuming that they're even going to have the same format as the other Fallout games, it could be completely different for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to, can be hard to see where they're going to go with this, because obviously they don't want to just rehash the same kind of ideas of going out, trying to following the story, farming and stuff. Like, obviously, what I think could be a good idea is if they would have to kind of continue on from the storyline with 4, but finding out more kind of what happened during the time that the character in that game was frozen. Obviously,
See, I was looking into this. What I have read is that it doesn't actually tie into 4 necessarily from what they've released so far. So it's most likely going to be like a completely separate storyline, and then with whatever game they're going to have further down the line, possibly called Fallout 5, could intertwine the 2 storylines basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a little thing now. Obviously, I'm not sure when the game's exactly coming out, but I'm gonna call a little thing right now that is you are some way wrapped up in how Luke's.
What do you mean, like a Wolfenstein kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when does the Fallout happens in 76, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's in.
You can be wrapped up in the plot of how that happens.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Due to the fact that obviously you've got like Fallout 1, 2, and 3 as well.
Yeah.
Then New Vegas and all the different storylines. I'm
Yeah.
not actually sure what the chronological order is. But what actually excites me the most about that trailer is when I'm watching it, it gave me the same feel that like BioShock Infinite gave me.
I get that.
Where it's just like you've watched the game develop from something so tiny, so small, but it was so amazing when it first came out. It's just, it's if you're a Fallout fan, it's gonna get you excited.
Is there a BioShock Infinite PS4 port?
I think so. I think it's on the PlayStation Store. Oh yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Playing for it.
But yeah, those are the kind of big trailers.
Sorry, it's on PlayStation now.
Oh god, no, my internet connection. PlayStation Now, it does its best with Netflix.
I feel like it got a remaster though. I really feel like it. I'm pretty sure it was re-released on. I'm pretty sure it was re-released on PS4.
I've got a feeling.
There's a few of those now that I need to get my hands on. Devil May Cry.
Oh, the re-releases.
Re-release.
Yeah.
Not DMC.
DMC's still a good game.
It is. It was too short.
Yeah.
Far too short.
They should just redo 1, 2, 3, and 4, but in like 60 FPS.
Whoa. I was with my cousin, fellow YouTuber, streamer and gamer, Luke Spectral, up in his channel in the description. I was with him last weekend, and we were talking about we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite a little bit, and he was kind of like on this basis of like, oh, Dante, oh, okay, awesome. Oh yeah, but why does he look like that? Why does he look like the DMC one? And I was just like,
I didn't even know that they had it as.
There's a you can put a costume on him.
Oh,
So you can put a
okay.
DMC one, but I was just like, no, you're wrong. No, Dante is white haired. Has the red coat, not the black coat.
Wasn't DMC written as a prequel though? Like, it shows you when he first gets his. Where he first gets his white hair, or how they wanted to do it.
Yeah, because
anyway.
like him getting his white hair was him. Like again, can't remember the storyline too well. But it's him getting like
It
all his
was
powers and everything.
the spider, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Inside of him. But not that anyone was actually walking away from Devil May Cry 4 and being like, I wonder how Dante's hair's white.
Yeah, and yet when
That's very
and you
true.
remember everyone being up in uproar, being like, no, it's not Dante. He hasn't got his white hair. It's just like.
This is
Know
what
the
this is what the
story.
gaming industry do to the community. Like, people could say that the community is toxic, but it's the gaming industry's fault, realistically.
Well, like, I never played much of the Devil May Cry games. Even I knew that, like, you know, out about Dante's hair, and even though it's such a small bit, like, so many people got into such an uproar about it.
It didn't bother me. It's like, if they changed, like, okay, no, that was going to be a bad example. I was going to say if they changed the color of Mario's hat, but if they added like something onto like Mario's design, are people going to complain? No, because it's Mario. They continuously expand it.
No, don't bank on that, man. Don't bank on that.
Wait for it.
I've
Wait
seen
for it.
the pages.
Wait for it. Mario Odyssey, as an example, or even Mario Galaxy, having all of the different costumes, they're constantly adding to it, but people are like, oh no, this isn't like the original Mario. Why are they putting all of these costumes? It's because it doesn't necessarily make the game better. People just need to let go of the fact that change needs to happen sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but people don't like change.
Yeah, I know, that's the biggest problem, especially within the gaming community
Well,
again.
with Mario, I feel like they've always, in a way, they have always been able to keep the kind of classic Mario feel to it in a way. Even if it's just like small things here and there, while we able to.
Yeah, subtle little tweaks that kind of open new dimensions of it.
I don't know.
Like in Odyssey's case, it sticks to that core Mario, but then there's just these quirky little features that just add new kind of areas of Mario you've never really gone to before.
But think about this though, if they didn't put the ability, you know, like the segments of Mario Odyssey where it actually turns into the two-dimensional mode, if they didn't put that in, and then you put the very first Mario game next to Mario Odyssey, they are nothing alike. They are literally nothing alike.
That's very, very true. Yeah, it has changed drastically, but I feel it always kind of remains to the core of that character. And I don't know if there's a video that Donkey mentions something about it, where he says in like it's in his Sonic Forces video, funny enough, he talks about it. and he says like, there's in all Mario games, Mario is at the center of the screen.
Oh yeah.
He's at the center of the action, and that
The
way
smaller
it's
elements,
so
yeah.
transferable. And he said there are other games. I think he mentions like Super Mario Party or something like that, and he's like, it just doesn't work because they completely change that, and you're going
Do
all around
not
the screen
knock
totally.
Mario, Super Mario
Yeah, don't
Party.
you dare. Super Mario
I am telling you now, we are going to do a playthrough of that game. That game
Oh
is
my God.
phenomenal.
It is
It
amazing.
is so good, especially if you actually have 4 players to play it with. It'll be so perfect to do a video on, I'm telling you
It
now.
is.
I'm not allowed
It's
to-
so
allowed to
good.
like Mario, really.
How dare you?
How?
Oh gosh.
This is the thing though, this is the main difference between Sonic and Mario. Even with Mario Odyssey, with whatever hate it actually got, it still will continue to grow and it will still continue to absolutely dominate the market.
Yeah.
Whereas Sonic, unfortunately, continues to die.
They build it. That's fine with Sonic. They
Unless the
build.
new racing game actually absolutely saves it, but it would have to be incredible. It would have to be absolutely
Exactly.
flawless.
Honestly, Sega's future is in remasters, and they just need to like fully be like, okay, right, here's what we do. Sonic Team, you lot go and remaster the old games. Christian Whitehead, you come in and do the new ones. The guy who did Mania.
Yeah.
And it's like done. Like get the remasters coming out. They're what people want. They're what people have been crying out for. Get them out. Make the money on that so you're on a good platform, and then put the money properly into a good title for several years.
They'd only need about 4 titles as well. Adventures 2, Heroes, and Riders. That's literally all they need to remaster, and it's...
People want. What else do people want? There are some of us, a very rare few that want a Shadow remaster.
Okay, yeah, I didn't actually think about that.
There are some of us that want an Unleashed remaster.
Oh god, no.
There are some of us.
So
There are some
unnecessary.
of us. Literally 2% of us that I am in the want an 06 remaster.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Just do it fucking properly. Do it properly. Get the
That's
bugs
the
out.
thing,
Get the glitches
Okay.
out. Make it
Sonic
They could do
Unleashed
that,
I
but-
will give you, but only if they take out all of the Unleashed parts. All of the Unleashed parts and just have Sonic. Sonic Wii remastered. That's what they do, and then don't actually release it on the Wii.
See, what with me and Sonic, what I've always found it is, while I might have different storylines, it is still just a case of pushing the joystick forward and pressing A every now and then.
That's
It's
the
hard
thing,
to
though.
actually
That's
get
what's
into the
different
story
about
and
Adventures
gameplay.
Adventures 2.
That's because I haven't, like, Mitty, I can't talk about the new ones. I haven't played any of them. Like, one of the main ones I played was Sonic Adventures 2, and I mainly played that for the Chow Garden.
Yeah. I mean, if you played Forces, I don't think that's the opinion. And let's be perfectly honest with you. Hey, I'm going to do that at some point. I'm just going to bring the PlayStation 4 over and chuck a controller in my hand and just like go experience. I mean, you've played it.
Yeah. A little bit.
I mean, what's one of,
It wasn't a tremendous amount.
I mean, what's the name of
Really
the
speak
newest one
highly
again
of
that's
it.
come on the Switch? The Sonic game?
Mania.
Mania, yeah. I mean, I played 2-player with that.
That's
And-
really good.
The 2-player in it is horrible. Like,
You not like it?
no, the second character, if you're Tails, you're just spending most of the time like not doing anything because they automatically making you catch up to Sonic, who's halfway across the map, and you can't do anything. Because by the time you get to him, he's already gone on.
The old days.
You can't do anything. It's like it's like
to spin dash at the same time, do all the loops. Then you got to get your Sonic and you got to press triangle. Then you got to get your Tails to grab you and fly you over shit.
So
So
basically, it's
basically,
just
you have to be to like Sonic Mania. You have to play it with someone that loves it as much as you do.
Pretty much.
the thing is, it won't work because Tails is not as fast as Sonic. So that's,
Yeah. No,
like, so Sonic will be spinning ahead and Tails is there
Spin dash
spinning
is
his
the same speed, isn't it?
spinning
Like
his
the spin dashes.
tails, trying to
Yeah,
trying
if
to
you're
catch
spin
up to
dashing and
him.
hitting the speed
Same
boost at the
speed.
same
Well,
time, it won't
like-
make a difference.
You've both just got to max it out. Do you know what I mean? Slam
Yeah.
it and then max.
I just found it wasn't enjoyable.
no,
It was like Mario Galaxy. It was like the Mario Galaxy 2-player
Collecting
where
the
you
stars
collecting and
around
shooting
there.
the stars.
Yeah, but it's not going to
show
stop
you.
you from playing the 2-player, is it though?
I'll bring it over at some point and play the 1-player on it because it's like it's genuinely like the most beautiful Sonic game ever made.
We'll definitely give it a try.
Adventures 2, you said that.
Dude, if you've seen Sonic Adventures 2 these days, it doesn't age well.
Yeah, I know.
No one will.
Unless you only play it for the Chow Garden.
Fuck the chow garden, make it an app.
I was having this conversation with like my sisters and my cousins, like we all maybe played it for the Chow Garden, and one of my cousins hadn't even like heard of Sonic Adventures 2, but when we explained the Chow Garden to him, said he'd much rather play that.
See, it was a fun feature at the time, but whenever I do a playthrough now, I just completely abandon the chow garden. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just like, no, story.
Yeah,
I feel like they could easily make it the main game, where in the main game you collect stuff for the Chow Garden.
No, it annoyed me. I had to go back there every time. Oh, drop off your items.
Realistically, it's just a Tamagotchi within a Sonic game.
And on that note,
I like
what happened to Tamagotchis? Do you know what? On that, I think that's a good way to close it. I think that's a great
I do like
way to end it on. But yeah, this has been Podcast 15, Calamity Hatcher. Thank you guys for checking this out. I am your host, Calamity, joined by my wonderful friends,
OG Titan.
And Emma.
Thank you guys very much for coming on. Thank you guys to everyone, everyone that's listened to this. OG Titan on your channel. You know there'll be a link in the description. You know it's there.
YouTube.com/OG Titan. Like, share, and subscribe.
Go on, plug. Plug some more.
Always plug. Always plug.
Always plug in. Emma, anything to plug?
Not really.
Fair
Just
enough.
continue supporting these guys and their channels and their content.
Thank you. What have I got to plug? New stuff's coming. I mean, this is a week ahead, so things are probably out by then. But as OG mentioned, there's got to be a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite video up soon, and a few other bits. So yeah, it's all gonna be coming down. If you want some of the hottest, softest merch in the game, it's not, but there is. And yeah, people want snapbacks. There's a range of colours and stuff. You can just hit me up in the comments, let me know, drop me a Facebook message, whatever, we'll have fun with it. But yeah, this has been this week's podcast. Thank you to everyone checking out. Thanks for you guys for joining me. And we will catch you next time, because that's what it takes to be infinite. We'll see you guys soon.